We're at the Trion Worlds booth here at E3 to find out a little bit where Defiance is heading next, and we're catching up here with Trick. First of all, Defiance has been a bit of a surprise success. It's really taken off. Both the TV series and the game. You celebrated 1 million players recently. What's that experience been like since launch?
I mean, it's been pretty wild. We knew that it was a major experiment and a major risk. I mean, a third-person shooter, it's an MMO, tying with the television series. I mean, we had, of course, like horrible nightmares all leading up to the release of both the game and the show. And by and large, like, all of our crossovers have went off like as we wanted them to. Players met the Nolan character, they got betrayed, now he shows up on the television series and they've got a connection like they haven't had a connection to a character in a show before. And meanwhile, we've got Rin, who showed up inside of the show and does some bad things and shows up inside of the game, and people, they've got a backstory to her, they understand her character, and it's told a story that we would not have been able to tell inside of a game, but nonetheless that character carries that with them. And I think that's been really, like, I've never been involved with anything like that, and I'm not certain anyone has.
And I guess in your position, that's also something that sort of, that's what you're working with and try and juggle all day long, right?
Yes. I mean, I care about the storytelling inside of our medium. I came from film and theater before I got into video games. It's been sort of a major focus, and it's been amazing to see how we can develop storytelling inside of a gaming world, particularly a persistent one, because there have been events that haven't gone away, like, oh, you solve the plague quest, well, there are still sick people. You've got to, you know, they've got to distribute a cure and that kind of thing. It's really, I'm glad that it's worked out the way that it has. I think I'm very proud of it.
So what we're talking about here today is, of course, what's next. Could you just give us an outline on what players can expect in the next while?
So we've got our first DLC coming out relatively soon, actually very soon, in fact, and it's going to open up. Players can play as Castathans, which is like the most popular race inside of the show because Jamie Murray and Datak Tar and well, I just mixed character and name, whatever. They've been amazing, and that whole family has really sort of lit people's imaginations. And so we're adding a quest line in for people who pay for the DLC, where they're going to be able to understand sort of the Castathan Lero or caste system. People are going to be able to fight in a series of arenas, like tailored for, you know, high score monitoring competitive arenas. Fighting against sort of a PvE quest for strength. You've got new open world enemies like the sieges that I think are going on right behind me, where you get to fight the Volge, who showed up inside of the television series, and in a new kind of capture and hold dynamic event that will happen all over the world, really, inside of the game. That will adjust for number of players and all of that, which is exciting new dynamic content. And for players who have actually gotten far in the game, there was a boss that they never really felt that they were able to fight truly, and so we've actually brought the Dark Matter Monitor, which is this quadruped giant robot, and allowed people to actually fight it, because they've been raring to do that since we launched the game. We figured, let's let them.
So I understand that the season got picked up, or the series got picked up for a second season. How does that? Is that something that you've been waiting on to hear? Like, now we know that, and now we can sort of our plans. Is that important for you guys to know the plans of the TV series and sort of work in parallel?
Of course it is. I mean, we've got the TV series is a part of the very same world, and without that window into it, as much as we know that the game would be solid on its own still, we're definitely stronger for its continued existence, and it has been received very well. Its viewership is incredible, and its fan base is there. We can see them showing up on our forums from time to time. We're like, wow, you have a very different experience of the fiction than we do. We are really glad to hear it. And so I'm really glad to see this going on to its second season. And because of that, like, we know that our 5 DLCs that we're going to be doing between Season 1 and Season 2 are going to be able to cover the storyline that occurs inside of the universe between the finale, which is going to be just, it's wonderful. And
don't spoil anything.
yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything. It's wonderful. There's some sort of ground-shaking events that go on in it, and people are going to be able to say, wow, I'm going to take that in, take a breath. That's interesting. What is that going to do to the world? And then we will show them as sort of the effects and ripples of those events occur. And we know, because we've been dealing with, you know, Kevin Murphy and the SyFy channel about, we know where they want to take the second season, and we can go, hey, let's take some characters, let's take some voice actors, let's
plant some seeds.
Yeah, let's plant some seeds and have people go, you know, maybe second episode of the second season, people go, oh, that guy's bad. No, don't listen to that guy, for example.
So it sounds a little bit like have you had an overall sort of roadmap together of this, or is it sort of coming together right now, or how's the work been?
We've had some broad roadmaps, but one of the strange things is because we've got players affirming choices. You know, they go in and we see what they do inside of the game. We see how people react to sort of a fan base. We know that if we had written, you know, a 5-act novel of this, you know, that we've set this inside of stone, we wouldn't be able to adapt to what people have really been drawn to. So while we had a big roadmap that we had in place for things that we would like to see and arcs that we'd like to cover, we're still hoping to cover that arcs, but we're changing a lot of the focus in response to what people have actually become passionate about.
All right, so you mentioned that in the next while the first DLC is going to come out. Will we see all those 5 DLCs until the start of the second season? Is that the plan?
Our plan right now is to get them out before the second season.
And when is the second season? Is next? Yes. So it's all covered in darkness for now, but at least we know it's coming, and we know that there's plenty of more content on the way.
Oh yeah.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.